Welcome, everyone, to episode 7 of Life of Love. I'm Adam.
I'm Steph.
And we are still in love.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Welcome to the show this week, everybody. Thanks for your continued support. We truly appreciate it. If this is your first time joining in on the show, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And on YouTube, we put out mini clips as well throughout the week of our past episodes. So if you don't have a lot of time, you just want to catch up on a couple quick little episodes, little snippets, and see if the episode's worth tuning into, you can do so on YouTube. Our show is sponsored again by Fundy Shores Hideaway, located in New Brunswick. It's the ultimate vacation destination in Atlantic Canada. So if you guys are looking for doing any ATVing this summer, or you want a nice relaxing area to camp in, there's fully equipped trailers there for you to rent. It is close to the town of Alma and the Bay of Fundy National Park. So great low-cost destination that you can take your family on. So if you're interested in that, search them up on Google or Instagram or Facebook. It is Fundy Shores Hideaway Campground. Today we're just going to do some more questions and answers and then see where the discussion leads. So let's start with the first one.
I want to start off by saying the weather here, it can go away. We are in the middle of a snowstorm this whole entire weekend, and yeah, I don't like shoveling snow. That's for sure. All right. So, did you see any positive romantic relationships growing up?
Yeah. So we've talked about this before as well, but both our parents are still together. Aunts, uncles. We were around a lot of relationships and big families growing up. So for sure, we were around there. And I think if you see somebody, every relationship has ups and downs and struggles and arguments and all that. But yeah, we saw how people dealt with it, and if they had arguments, and in the end, the family comes back together and loves each other, right? Your family.
You would hope so.
You can't change that. They're your family. So, we were. I mean, personally, I saw a lot of that. And then as we've grown as well, we have a lot of friends and family as well that are still together after decade plus years. So,
I think for me as well, I did see a lot of that positive romantic relationships growing up. I grew up in a culture where, like, if you got married, you marry once and you don't divorce, you don't separate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's positives and negatives to that kind of mentality. I think growing up, I did see those positive relationships, but I also saw a lot of the other side of it that made me realize, like, hey, I don't want this kind of quality in a relationship. I don't want this. I don't want to have to worry about this sort of situation. So I think there's, pros and cons to it, but I would say, positive romantic relationships growing up were there.
And some of that also goes back to the love languages that we talked about on a previous episode. If you haven't seen that, check that out, where we break down the 5 love languages.
Yeah.
So you may see something where, the man is like the 100% provider and the wife is 100%, at home. And for that relationship, it might work perfectly, but you were able to look at that. Let's say as an example, you can look at that and go, that's not what I want, because I would want this. So I can see that a partner like that acts that way and is that way, and then I see how, whatever it is, if it's a friend or a cousin or an aunt, let's say for instance, that how they're reacting to that certain situation, and you're able to then expand upon that and say, that's not the relationship that I'm looking for.
I think you learn lots from other people and their situations, and I think you can have a good takeaway from certain relationships and saying, like, I want this kind of quality in my partner. I want this because I could see that, this person in my life did not have that. So, I say I agree with you. Yeah. All right, next one. What did you respect about the relationships?
Yeah, so just going back to that, The fact that, if you saw someone get into a fight or an argument, that like that wasn't the end of the world. That was just, we had a fight, we had an argument.
Go to bed, try again
yeah,
tomorrow.
we just move on. I've never seen an argument. Yeah, well, like we said, our family, a lot of our family still married, going on, decades long relationships.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever like, that's it. This is.
Yeah. I do feel some, could be better separated than together, but to each their own. I'm not my circus, not my monkeys. All right. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I respected that they didn't give up. I respected that kind of like hustle, to maintain that marriage. Even though on the outside it may look different, but we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But I do respect that, they never gave up.
Yeah, like my parents, for instance, they worked opposite shifts. So my mom would finish work at like 2 p.m. My dad started at 3. They'd pass the kids over at the parking lot on the way.
Yeah.
But even then, we still made sure that we had family meals. So it was like a family lunch or sometimes on Sundays or whatever. My dad was going in for work, overtime or something. So we had that. We still had that family time, right? We made that extra family time. Yeah. We had a trailer up at Sauble Beach as well. So, we had weekends up there, and we were always also, my parents always had like next year we're going to Nova Scotia. Then the year after that, we're going to Edmonton and seeing family out there. Then we got to go to Florida a couple times. Next year, we're just going camping, locally. So my parents always set up that time, the family time and together. And then also, obviously, they were together as well. So, so no matter what, didn't matter the financial situation, we always had family time together.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we had the same thing growing up as well. My parents worked also opposite shifts because that's how they saved on not paying for like a childcare provider, right? And because back when I was in kindergarten, I don't know if it was the same with your school board, but kindergarten, you only went for either the morning or the afternoon. So you had nothing, you couldn't do anything except hire a babysitter or a daycare provider. So to get around that, my parents worked opposite shifts as well. And that just meant that, while my mom was at work, my dad had to do a lot of the childcare stuff at nighttime, like him learning how to braid my hair, right? Really crappily, but, he did it and whatnot. But so I do respect, the hustle that they had to do to make things, work and make ends meet type of thing. Yeah, I do respect that. What do you enjoy? What do you most enjoy about being in a relationship? Is that ours?
Yeah, sure. Our relationship.
Yeah. What do you enjoy most?
I don't know if this is the exact, but like I would say like the camaraderie, just the fact that there's just somebody always there to talk to, and it's a weird feeling when you do work like till 6 o'clock at night. Every once in a while, you have to do a 6 o'clock. You work till 6, and there's just like this like emptiness or like loneliness in the house because normally at this time. You're usually there, even if I work late. Like by the time I come home after 5, or even if I come home by 6, you'd already be there. So there's kind of like an energy missing out of the house, and I think the kids feel it too because every once in a while they're like, "When is mom done work? How come mom's not home yet?" Because normally most times you're done by 3, or you pick them up from school.
Yeah.
So, so that's it. Yeah, just the energy, and then always having somebody there.
I agree with you there. I enjoy most having, like I have no problem saying it, like you're literally my best friend. Like if I find out any information or if I find out tea, gossip, drama, blah, 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 whatever it is, you're literally the first person I tell. And I like to bounce those things off of you, right? Like you'll tell me if I'm being crazy or you'll tell me, I'm right in my feelings. It's just having that companion and having that one person that that I know that you'll listen and you won't judge. And if you do judge, you're going to tell me. and stuff. So yeah, I do like that, as you put it, camaraderie. What's the best advice you've ever heard about love?
Um, so it's one of the things similar to what you talk about with like your love languages and like your words of what's it,
Words of
affirmation,
affirmation, yes.
and regularly communicating. I listen to if everyone's ever listened to Rob Dyrdek's podcast, but he's got like his whole life systematized where it's like every day he sends an email out to his wife with like the quote of the day or something to him.
Aw, that's so
And
cute.
and that's where he actually talked about the number scale originally that we talked about on previous episodes. Just like talking about like what number are you at right now versus today, and just asking that. So I mean, don't necessarily be that technical with it, but just making sure you try to communicate regularly. And I mean, that's something you said. So there you go. You said the greatest advice for me about relationships is to listen to what your partner wants. So there you go. I can make you the happiest ever if I go to a job site in Hamilton and I get there and say, "Hey, just got here to Hamilton."
Yes.
And hey,
Yeah.
leaving now. Just giving you
Yeah.
those little cues, and then also checking in with you. But obviously, the biggest thing is just listening to your partner and just do exactly what they want.
Yeah.
It's no different if it's at work or if it's at school. We tell this to our kids, right? They say, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is so dumb. The teacher wants to do this," but literally, all you have to do is just do what the teacher wants,
And
and
move
you succeed.
on,
And
right?
you succeed.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think it was in grade 10 English class, and this teacher didn't like how I had done my essay or something. So, and I asked for an example. They had an example. I was like, okay, cool. I know exactly what they want now. And then I don't know, you probably had to do like 2 or 3 essays throughout that year.
Mm-hmm.
Did it exact, and every time, I don't know, whatever, 80s, 90s on it, because I did it exactly so same thing in relationships,
Yeah.
same thing with your kids, right? I mean, just talking about like food with your kids. The kids will say what they like to eat. If you just give your kids obviously you want to get them to explore different foods as well.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, whether it's your spouse or your kids. Just listen to what they want. Do what they want in terms of how they like to be loved or taken care of.
Yeah.
And all is good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree about the communication. I think the best advice is to have an open mind and an open heart towards your partner and to take their feelings into account. Like, even if you think whatever they have said is stupid, whatever, it's important to them. So it should be important to you to make sure that they feel loved, validated, heard, understood. I do think that is probably one of the best advices I've heard. Like, just because you think it's dumb doesn't mean that they, think it's dumb as well. So to, try and be in their shoes and see how they feel goes a long way. And yeah, that open communication, if something's bothering you, get it off your chest. Don't let it fester and bottleneck, right? Because as things, develop and, more things happen, they tend to, and if you bottle them up, you tend to bottleneck, and then there'll be one minor inconvenience, and then all the feelings will come out. So if you just keep that, open communication, trying to understand how the other person is viewing things, trying to understand how they feel about the certain situation. I think communication is huge, huge. What do you think our generation's greatest struggle compared to older and younger ones is?
So one thing
is this in terms of relationships or like
so.
how
Well,
how are we?
Sure, it could be relationships, just life, how they're.
Maybe life. Yeah.
I would say with kids, and you see it a lot. Where you're starting to see it a lot with relationships, is the lack of commitment. I would say in terms of just deciding on something, because we're in the TikTok society where swipe.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with online dating, right? With these profiles, you can swipe left, swipe left. Like that. That's it. That's the amount of effort you're putting into seeing if you want someone to be a partner. Is a quick either picture of them or the 1 second, right? If your first second on a video on social media doesn't catch the eye, they're gonna move on. People don't have the patience. or they're choosing not to have the patience because they don't need to have the patience because there's so many options out there. And I think people are seeing that now. It's just like we're just in a throwaway generation, whether it's, your appliances or your products in your house, everybody just throws it away. Nobody wants to, you know, protect something, savor it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just move on to the next thing. And we'll see as our kids get older and they start getting into relationships, how those start happening. But you just see a lot of people just giving up quick.
Yeah. I would agree that maybe it's our generation that we, there's got to be a certain generation that, divorces are like huge, right? It might be not our generation. It could be the generation before us, right? The older generation, a lot of them did not divorce, did not separate, but that didn't mean that their relationship was a healthy one.
Right.
So I think our generation is, we see the older generation and what they've struggled with and what they've put up with in their relationship. And, they know for sure, like, I'm not going to deal with this, this, and this. I saw my mom and my dad deal with this, or my aunt, my uncle, my brother, my sister, whoever has dealt with a certain situation. They know I'm not going to put myself in that situation. And I think that goes with the younger ones, right? Like, our kids will see how we tackle certain situations, and they may say, like, well, I'm not going to put myself in that situation to begin with. So I'm not sure how to really answer that, but I think the greatest struggle is trying not to get into a bad situation that they've seen. Right. But yeah, that's a good question. What do you hope your life looks like in 5 years and 10 years?
Yeah, so 5 years, our kids are almost going to be done high school. So
yeah.
More
oh my
time,
God.
More time. It'll be interesting. I mean, 10 years from now, we're probably going to end up having there's a good possibility of grandkids.
Oh my God, don't even go. Do not. No, no. We are too young to be grandparents.
So in that case, yeah, obviously keep improving upon our careers and then working upon our relationship. But yeah, I mean, obviously you can kind of feel like the position we're in. They say that the 10-year hump, if you make it over 10 years, you can do it. And then we've now over 15 into 16, 17 years now. So I think we're on a good, I'd say a good cruise control, in the sense that we know what we both want out of life. We know what we want individually and together, and what we're looking forward to. Eliminating stresses and things we don't need in our life, to be able to just enjoy our life together as a unit, and just moving forward into a more peaceful life, more enjoyable. You kind of get over that hump where you make enough money finally, where it's not always just paycheck to paycheck. And I mean, there's a lot of outside factors like interest rates and the housing market that you always have to think about. But even
what do you hope your life looks like in 5 years?
So that's what I'm saying. So less stress, and more time just to hang out together and individually, and keep working on the goals that you still want to continue and do in life.
So what about in 10 years time?
10 years. I would hope that I'm half retired and able to spend more time helping others and just continuing to do. I mean, I like what I do for work, and extracurricularly helping people out that are getting into real estate investing, stuff like that. So I'm passing on my knowledge to other people.
Good answer. For me, I may answer it a little bit differently. In 5 years' time, I hope that we will be able to downsize, because we don't need a big house anymore. The kids will be, almost done high school, moving on to post-secondary, should they choose. So I would like to sort of downsize, get something that's a little bit, smaller. I do want to be able to travel more. I want to be able to see the world with you, see different places of this world with you. I want to be able to have girls' trips that I'm able to experience that with friends or family. But I would like to. My life in 5 years would be ideal if I could work part time. I do love what I do as well. The politics of healthcare can, go in the garbage for all I care. If I could just maintain what I'm doing now and be able to downsize and be able to see this world a little bit more with you, travel more, see different places of the world that we would have never dreamed of seeing with you, for sure. In 10 years' time, yeah, like you said, we may have grandkids. I really, 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 really hope not, because I do think in 10 years' time, I think that's still young to be grandma and grandpa. That even just saying that, I'm just like, ugh. But I would like to be able, if in 10 years time, if we do start having grandkids, I do want to be able to help out my kids as much as our parents helped us out. I want to be able to give that forward to them and really show them that it is the village that helps raise and bring up these children and whatnot. But yeah, so that's my 5 and 10 year plan. Describe the meal that reminds you of home.
Yeah, so for me, so my mom's roast beef, because I have never been able to replicate that. So my mom.
What about me?
My mom. No, yours is no. I'm just saying that's what it is. So that's one meal that I can't. That just the way that how she ever cooked it. It's never been the same. I can recreate my mom's turkey recipe, no problem, and all of that. And normally we have like turkey 3-4 times a year at my mom's house.
Yeah.
For family events, Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas. But anyways, yeah, that's one. Yeah, the mashed potatoes, vegetables. So that is the one. Yeah, that's one thing that. Yeah.
That reminds you of home.
Yeah.
Reminds you of home.
If I think of that, that's exactly it, because I never have had that somewhere else, that exact way that it was done.
For me, it's obviously anything Portuguese, because like I don't make that food here because you guys won't eat it, and I can't make just a small amount. So anytime my mom makes, or anytime I can get like a Portuguese dish like codfish or whatever it may be. Yeah, that always reminds me of home. What's your go-to meal today? Does that mean like physically today, or
whatever you like? I guess whatever you like to make.
Like if maybe you mean if you did not have a meal planned, what is your go-to meal that you're gonna make?
Yeah, I mean, well, for me, I make it every day. Like I just make eggs in different varieties. That's just like, yeah, like if I need anything, even if I've done it before, where it's just like I'm hungry at night, I make more eggs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, big meal. If we're making like a big meal, if someone says let's have a big meal, yeah, I'll make a turkey. I think it's the best bang for your buck. It takes a long time, right? 3-4 hours to cook a turkey.
It's a process.
But that's my go-to meal, and then our oldest son loves it as well for some reason. He prefers turkey over the chicken, which is funny.
It's hilarious.
Most people are the other ways, right? And he'll be eating chicken and be like, "This isn't turkey." We're like, "No, it's not. Those are little chickens. So we cook 2 little chickens instead of a big turkey." But
that's funny you say that, because we're making a turkey today, because tomorrow is a holiday. It's Family Day. But when we told our oldest that we're making a turkey this weekend, the smile on his face, it was like Christmas morning. He was so happy. For me, like if there's nothing made and Like, let's say the kids are at school and it's like lunchtime and I don't have anything really made, and it's not, I don't, you know, if I don't want anything in the freezer, it's probably going to be like Mr. Noodles or grilled cheese. Let's be honest. I don't shy away from a good sandwich, right? Like peanut butter and honey, in a sandwich between bread. Yep. That's probably my go-to if I'm, home alone. Next question. When you travel, is your goal to relax, go on an adventure, or a mix of both?
Yeah, mine would be a mix of both, but I also I don't mind having like two different vacations, like one where if you go to like an all
Yeah.
inclusive, you just look back
Perfect.
on our last couple trips. So 2 years ago, we went to Mexico,
Yep.
just the two of us.
Yep.
And then last year we did England
Yep.
for like 9 days, 10 days. And the England one was cool, obviously, because you're exploring around, but lots of walking, like your feet just brutal. And I did a lot of walking, I do a lot of running, but yeah, just that constant grind every day, like your legs are just so sore. So, I mean, I would have preferred, yeah, if it was more of a combo. So if let's say we were there for 2 weeks
Mm.
and not so go, like we went on a bus trip through, what was it, Trafalgar?
Yeah. Like a
So,
tour, a guided
so a
tour.
guided tour, which is good there. At least you didn't have to worry about um, your transportation because it's all
Yeah.
covered by the bus and all that stuff. But it is just a hustle, go for 9 straight days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, personally, I love nothing more like going back to like memories as a kid, going up to Sauble Beach and just chilling at the beach for hours on end. Like I could just sit on the beach. I do that outside now. Like we got a pool and a deck out.
Mm-hmm.
Just chill on the lounge chair for an hour or two, or in the pool on a floaty and just relax that way. I think it's just because I mean I used to always want to be all about adventure and all that as a
Mm-hmm.
younger kid,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it just the hustle and bustle of life just catches up to you where you just want to relax. It's like one extreme to the next. You don't even want to go on an adventure anymore. You just want to relax.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like, if I was able to go on a trip every single year, I would, 1 year would be an adventure, 1 year would be relaxing. I have no problem going to an all inclusive. I would love to be able to go to an all inclusive every winter time, even if it was just us or if we bring the kids and whatnot, because I still think it's important to try and have a family vacation at least once a year, regardless of your budgetary restraints. I do think it's important to do that. So if money wasn't an obstacle, I would totally be like, hey, this year we're gonna go on a beach vacation or an all inclusive, and that would be more of our like relaxing one. Next year we're gonna go on another guided tour, or we're gonna go out west and check out those provinces because I have not. So I would still like to do that. But yeah, I think it's nice. It's nice to have options if you're going to go on vacation and you're able to afford it. If you're able to do and relax in an adventure or a mix of both. Yeah, for sure. If money wasn't an issue, what job would you do for free?
I would still work in construction, but I would just work on like yeah, if I could just do for free, we'll film this for YouTube or something for fun, just helping people renovate their houses and
Yeah.
whether it's seniors or single parents, basically like extreme makeover home edition. That's what I'd be doing, minus making the crazy
Oh yeah.
things. But yeah, like if I was just doing like just like basements, man caves, like I would do that. I would just do that all day long, just making cool places for people to live in.
Yeah. I I'm not sure how to answer that question. I'm not sure if money was an object if I would be working for free. I think I'd be doing a lot of volunteer work through like different organizations, probably in our area here. But yeah, I totally can see see you doing that though. What's a cause you'd like to donate your time or resources towards?
Yeah, so right now, yeah, I'm thinking of how I can help out our local humane society there. So they're raising money right now to do so, whatever they're doing, an addition or build a new building
Yeah, I
there,
think so.
new
Yeah.
shelter. So, I feel bad for the animals, right? Obviously, they were never asked to be born and brought into this life, and unfortunately, that's the situation they're in right now. So, I'd love to be able to, just bring more awareness to that, help out. Our last dog was a shelter, was a Humane Society dog that we had that. Eventually, it actually passed away, natural causes due to some health issues. But I would, just love to be able to help out those. Hopefully I can do something in the future to help out.
I think for me, anything with like sick kids. I think Sick Kids is a fantastic hospital. They do a lot of good work there. Anything to do with kids, really. The Adoption and Foster Care Society around like down the street from us, probably there as well. Anything to do with kids, for sure. What is your favorite guilty pleasure snack?
Yeah, so mine, I love snack cakes. If anyone knows Vachon, they do Joe Louis and the Loon Moons, but they make one and it's a coconut roll, so it's called a billet log. So that's my favorite.
Don't we have those here?
We have them here. Yeah, jam roll. It's like a raspberry or strawberry jam roll.
Yeah.
With cake and icing and then coconut on top. That's my favorite. We usually just buy like Joe Louis here because all the kids will eat them. But I like stuff with coconut and jam and stuff. So that's mine.
Funny you should say that because I was going to say a Joe Louis for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to eat them as much, but yeah, like if I'm craving like a snack or something junky, I'll probably go for the Joe Louis. When I was pregnant, I don't know if it was like a pregnancy thing, but I used to put it in the freezer for like 10, 15 minutes just so it can get just a little bit crunchy. Oh yeah. I don't know if that was like a pregnancy craving or whatever, but that was perfect. Funny. All right. So next, describe your perfect Saturday.
Yeah. So mine would be, wake up whenever, eat breakfast, coffee together, just chill out on the deck, lounger, pool, hot tub.
So summertime.
Summertime for sure. Or if you go to the beach too, I mean, same thing. If you went to the beach, just relax and chilling in the sun.
Are you done?
Yep.
That's it? Okay. For me, a nice sleep in, and sleep in to me is like probably like 7:30, let's be honest, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Sleep in. You say, get dressed, we're going out for breakfast, or we're going out for coffee, and then we're going to go do some shopping. That's probably mine. Nice. A day dedicated to things that I want to do or whatever. Yeah, probably be my perfect Saturday. If that's, hey, let's go to, one of those like Nordic spas, and you had everything like planned, like a day kind of like day date, everything planned, and saying like, hey, just get ready. We're going to go. I'm going to take you somewhere. Anything like to that effect, perfect. Would be a perfect Saturday for me. Nice little surprise and whatnot. But yeah. What was your childhood dream career?
So I wanted to be a paleontologist.
Are you kidding? Oh my God. Okay, there, Ross.
I love dinosaurs. I don't know what we were probably like 8 or 9 when Jurassic Park came out. I always loved dinosaurs though. I had like toy dinosaurs. I love Jurassic Park movies. Yeah, if there was a real Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, I would want to go to it. I don't know why they ever created all the carnivores, but that could have solved all the problems. But but it was that was it. We got to go when I was.
So what made you not follow through with that?
It was just going to be a boring job. So we went to the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller as a kid, and I just knew it was just going to be a boring job. But it was something I liked the fact of doing. I just like dinosaurs. So
yeah.
But I also like in construction too, watching stuff in construction. I used to watch Saturday mornings, kids were watching cartoons, and I was watching TLC back.
Bob Villa.
Bob Villa.
Villa, yeah.
Home time. There was Furniture Brothers. Yeah, this is we had like premium cable up at our trailer, so that's what I would watch before we went to the beach. So
that's funny.
And then just when we got into high school and the whole Y2K thing was going on, and everybody was jumping into computers, and they were talking about how much money you could make in construction. So I'm big into money, so let's go into skilled trades. It turned out I was actually pretty good at it, and found something that I also enjoy. So
that's I say you picked the better career. Let's be honest. For me, I always wanted to be a vet, and then I changed my mind once our first dog died, and we had to go pick him up from the vet hospital. And there was a few other deceased animals there, and seeing that when you're that young, you're just like, I can't do this. That was my turning moment. I wanted to work with animals. I wanted to be a vet. I wanted to do everything with animals, and then in just a blink of an eye, that turned. So now I deal with humans. What family member am I closest to, and why?
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, what are you with? I mean, my brother and I, growing up, hung out with each other. Obviously, your two boys, your brothers. I was really close to my one cousin because he was basically a year younger than me, but only by like a couple months. So we hung out together that way growing up. And then he had a younger brother who was the same age as my brother. So kind of the four of us hanging out. Nowadays, I hang out with your cousin. So
Yep.
It's funny when we started dating. I think we were like 16 and he's a couple years younger. So maybe he was like 12 or something at the time, and just at a family get together, and he was playing video games, and he's like, "Hey, you like to play video games?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like to play video games." I used to spend more time it's funny when we were dating, I used to spend more time with him than you. So I go over to his house on weekends to play video games. And now it's pretty cool. Now we have kids together. So we hang out regularly and watch wrestling or UFC with the kids as well, play video games with them. So,
for me, I'm probably the closest to my cousin, I would say. We have a really good Snapchat streak going on. Shout out Victoria. So we literally will talk every single day about stuff, and I know like she listens and she doesn't judge, yada yada yada. But I would say my cousin is probably the closest I am to, and it's because we're the same. I think we've gone through a few things similarly, like mentally and emotionally, and
similar jobs too, right?
Yeah, she's in healthcare and stuff. So
young kids, you had young kids.
Yeah, so I think we're the closest. And I think we have the same way of thinking in terms of, how we view life and family and etc. But Ooh, when was the last time you felt proud of me?
Yeah. I remember feeling this when you did your first thing at the hospital, your first market sale with your business.
Yeah.
If you guys need anything, Enchanted _beating on Instagram or Facebook, check her out. And I just remember I was like filming. I was like, wow, look at what you did in like just a couple months, from figuring out how to order products from overseas, how to assemble, how to create bracelets, how to market them, how to create build earrings, build all these different keychains, right? And assemble all these pieces by hand together. And then, looking at this place and just like a bustling sale with good sales. And he figured out how to do things like Square app and how do you get insurance, for these small little vendor market, all that stuff. So I just thinking like, wow, that's something to be, proud of for yourself too, that you're able to come up with.
To think, of an outside the box way to kind of make more money type of thing. And it wasn't about making more money. It was always about like, I have this creative outlet. Like I got to spend time and decompress after work if it was like a really crappy shift, a really crappy day, and just, do a couple bracelets or do a couple pens or keychains and whatnot, and just kind of take my mind off, the crappiness of the day. So it was great. Um, I always feel proud for you, like proud of you, regardless of any little thing. Like, if something comes up and the way you navigate it, I think that is something to be proud of, the way you navigate things, and just remembering like you got this and you always have a way to make things right and whatnot. So I think that is like something super super proud of I am to you. All right, I think this is the last question. How have you seen me grow in the past year?
Yeah, so I can just see the way that you navigate either work, not putting up with or being less stressful out of work, how you handle like, the kids more and more, especially, our oldest is a teenager. You have to, I mean, that's
If you
just
know, you
how
know.
it is, right? Bouts of anger
Yeah.
and all that, right?
All the hormones, man.
But obviously, yeah, like you connect with him. You figuring out, like I said, this business that you've got, just side hustle that you're doing there as well. And yeah, just everything, right? Creating a business for yourself, creating more time for yourself, taking that time that you need for yourself. And then with that, obviously, yeah, becoming a stronger and more independent, you could say in a way, but just realizing your true worth, and that you don't need the support of people around you that aren't actually helping you.
I thank you for that. That's really nice. I think for me, I've seen you grow in the last year of not understanding that there are certain situations that you are put in and you don't have to be in those situations if they are not a good fit for you. I do think you have grown in what you're able to tolerate and what you're able to accept as being okay. And putting yourself first, right? I think our generation in a whole is, we always were taught like, you do better for other people, think of other people. And that kind of puts us on the back burner. So I think for you is understanding like, this is not a way for me to be treated. I do not deserve this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And just putting your own wants and desires and needs on that front burner. And just realizing that, you matter, your feelings matter, regardless of what anybody else says, you have a right to feel the way you do. And I think you finally getting to that point was really awesome. Really, really awesome. So yeah. I don't know. I think that's it. Yep, I will say, we've both grown exponentially the last, few years. I want to say my journey started before this whole COVID thing, and COVID kind of accelerated the way I have changed mentally, emotionally, socially, and whatnot. And it kind of made me realize a few things, like, about myself, about other people, about us. And, I love that we never stop learning and learning about other people, learning about us, what works, what doesn't. I do think that's, as a couple, we have grown exponentially this last year.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, stuff we've touched on before as well about how, every day try to get one step better for us and then for our kids as well, because the more that we're able to improve and then pass that
down,
back onto the kids, it's, not just, life skills, but yeah, emotional skills, how we should be treating others, and if they're not treating you a certain way, then maybe it's time to move along. If you're not happy in your current situation, right? Like you have the full power to change it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you like the way things are going, speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
Communicate with everybody, because there is a way for everybody to win.
I agree.
And that's through working together and finding out what you truly want, and then moving on from there.
Yeah. And also understanding that, if you do bring up your feelings or whatever towards that other person and how they reply, that isn't a reflection on you, right? They are allowed to express themselves the way they are, and you're allowed to express, like, two things can be right at the same time, or two things can be wrong at the same time. As long as you control how you behave and your feelings and how you talk to people, and realize that, like, you have no control over how other people react, speak to you, how they behave, it was a big thing for me to go through. It's that mental game of, like, they're allowed to be that way. Just let them. Let them be that way. You are the way you are. Let them be that way. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you made it all the way through to the end here.
Thank you.
Again, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So subscribe to us and follow us over on YouTube. And then you can follow us as well on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you give us a rating, that would be appreciative as well. But with that, we'll see everybody next week. Have a good week.
Thanks. Bye.